Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Tom Sherry, filling in for Whitney Ward this evening. Well, the Washington State Appeals Court threw out the conviction of a Spokane man, with one judge offering a blistering opinion of the county's law enforcement and the prosecutor.
KREM 2 Shannon Mowdy poured over that 80-page opinion and breaks down what it means tonight. Shannon?
Yeah, 3 appellate judges overturned Darnay Vale's conviction for resisting arrest, saying he should get a new trial, though one judge went even further. In a scathing 59 pages, Judge George Fearing called the case and charges against Darnay Vale infected with racism. That dissented in part from the majority opinion overturning the conviction, saying Vale's right to present a defense was violated.
You stop right now! You do not need to restand here like that!
Vale was arrested in August 2019 after a woman called 911 claiming he kissed her without permission. Vale was later found not guilty of assaulting her, but was convicted of resisting arrest. At trial, a Spokane County judge allowed the jury to see video of the arrest, but not hear it.
The trial judge suppressed his statement when he was face down on the ground under 3 white police officers, with one of those officers literally having his knee on this black man's neck.
Lila Silverstein represented Vale on appeal. She agrees with Judge Fearing's criticisms, which claimed racial bigotry permeated the case from the moment of the 911 call.
You stop right now! You do not need to restand here like that!
In that video, shot by the woman who originally called police, you can hear her tell deputies to stop. Judge Fearing criticized deputies, but also the woman who called them. Quote, "We pejoratively label these women with the moniker Karen," he wrote.
But then the police responded in a gross overreaction. Numerous police officers arrived and threw Mr. Vale to the ground violently and started beating him with their batons.
In a statement, Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles says the opinion appears to be based on wokeism, judicial activism, and the dissenter's personal view run amok, not established law. Fearing writes racism runs throughout Spokane County law enforcement and the prosecutor's office, pointing out prior comments from prosecuting attorney Larry Haskell's wife calling herself a white nationalist and using racial slurs. In a statement, Haskell said allegations bolstered in part by facts outside the court record are a poor basis for indictment of anyone for any reason. Now, just within the last half hour, we have learned the prosecutor will not retry this case and has dismissed the charge of resisting arrest. You can read the full statements from Knowles and Haskell, plus that court's full opinion at KREM.com. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. Looking ahead to Monday, the man suspected of murdering 4 University of Idaho students will be in court for his arraignment.
So earlier this week, we learned a secret grand jury indicted Brian Coburger on all charges. That indictment means that he will no longer have a preliminary hearing in June. Monday's arraignment is where he will likely enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. The suspect now faces 4 first-degree murder charges and 1 count of burglary.
His arraignment starts at 9 a.m. on Monday in Latah County. KREM 2 will be in Moscow and have complete coverage of that court hearing.
The former Idaho State Trooper accused of murdering his wife 2 years ago has pled not guilty. 57-year-old Daniel Charles Howard turned himself in April after a warrant was issued for his arrest. In February of 2021, Howard said his wife, 48-year-old Kendi Wilkins, had shot herself. Detectives say they found no evidence of a suicide, but instead found evidence of a homicide.
Meanwhile, local law enforcement still searching for a missing at-risk Indigenous woman who was last seen in East Central Spokane. Hasn't been seen since last Monday. She is 37-year-old Dominique Red Elk, 5 feet 7 inches tall, 120 pounds, and has flower tattoos on her back. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you are asked to call 911. All right, taking a quick break from the headlines to talk about weather. Air quality continues to be an issue as several wildfires continue to burn up in Canada.
So this as we are experiencing record-breaking heat. Time to send it over to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo with more on these abnormally warm temperatures. Jeremy.
Oh, well, the good news is the end is in sight. We know when we are going to cool down, but getting there, going to be a bit hazy and definitely going to be hot. Right now we sit at 86 degrees here in Spokane. That alone is a record high. It looks like we topped out a couple of degrees warmer, so Yeah, it was a warm one today, to say the least. We also have some of those air quality concerns. We sit at moderate in terms of AQI, a 75 in that index. And when it comes to those, well, I guess reductions in air quality, it is likely we see more of those tonight and early tomorrow, and then we turn the corner toward much cleaner air. When it comes to that, though, through tomorrow morning, we have air quality alerts in effect for much of eastern Washington. Just kind of checking the area, eastern Washington and all of Montana. Idaho, you're not in it, but you're still looking at some of those reductions in air quality. A few stray showers across the inland northwest, those kind of fading out and moving out, but overall we're talking a much drier weather pattern. 89 degrees tomorrow, mostly sunny and hazy. Sunday, partly sunny with some scattered storms, and then Monday, cooler and a little bit wetter. Look at that high, just 67. That is going to feel quite nice after the heat the next couple of days.
Wow. Well, the deadline has now passed for Washington candidates to get their names on the 2023 primary election ballot.
So here's a look at the local candidates who have officially filed thus far. A major race in Spokane is for the city council president, and new tonight, we have learned that Andy Rathbun will be seeking that seat. Rathbun is a retired United States Air Force lieutenant colonel who also served as the chair of the West Central Neighborhood Council.
So he joins two other candidates. Kim Pleas is a former business owner. She previously ran for Spokane County Commissioner in the midterms, but Chris Jordan defeated her. Betsy Wilkerson currently leads the City Council District 2, and she's hoping to take the council's top seat. The City of Spokane's top seat is up for grabs this year. Current Mayor Nadine Woodward is running for re-election following her first term in office. Former Washington State Department of Commerce Director Lisa Brown is also on the mayoral ticket.
Tim Archer was the first to announce his plans to lead the city in Woodward's stead. He is the former president of the Spokane Firefighters Union. And finally, Kelly Stevens, a current city employee, is also running for mayor. City council seats for District 1, 2, and 3 also up for grabs this year. You can find a complete list of the candidates running for those seats on our website, KREM.com. You can also just text us the word election to 509-448-2000. and we'll send a link right to your phone.